interdimensional light worker. I am a star seed. I guess you could also say I'm a second wave Pleiadian. Let's just stop right there, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anybody heard that word before? I hope by now. I mean, come on, world. Wake up. Okay, maybe some of you know yourselves to be a star seed, or you know where your soul home is. If you don't know where your soul home is, you might want to consider asking Michael while I'm here where your soul home is. I'm not sure we'll get that far in this group here. Maybe you want to know what your soul purpose is, your soul theme. I hear guidance very clearly. And I do my best to protect myself from interference. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that too. Hi. Okay, so the majority, the Pleiades and the Pleiadian consciousnesses, it's the next wave of evolution for all of humanity, so that everyone will be in a fifth dimensional, pure love vibrational state. And so a star seed, as Archangel Michael explained it in, I believe, this book, is someone that came from the Pleiadian or Healing Galaxy to transmute disharmony on Earth. We'll come back to that in a minute. Of course, it's also stars. Maybe hear other cultures talk about star nations. Well, we're talking about the same thing, about loving light beings of advanced, vibrational, pure love, benevolent, not malevolent, intent. And so that's how I kind of notify. I'm also a medium. I hear guidance word for word. Everybody does their work the same. So, if you are hoping and desiring to connect with someone on the other side, and you've never done it, you've done it a million times. As I say, I hear guidance. I first saw Christ's face in a glass of water when I was about 6 or 7. And from that juncture, near about the age of 20, I was able to speak to my mother on the other side in the kingdom of heaven. And very soon in my 30s, lots of training came through from Master Jesus, the other ascended masters. Archangel Raphael came first. He was there for a while, then he left, and Archangel Michael said he'd be back, and he really had never gone. Anyway, so that work has transpired into some books and healing systems. So today I just want to show these to maybe kind of tell you a little bit more about me and what gives me the ability to try to stand in a teaching position, although we learn from one another. So anyway, this is book number 1, Into the White Light. What goes on in the other side in the kingdom of heaven. Some of the books are in Spanish, so this one is. There's e-books and so on, if it moves you, if you're not aware of my work. 2012 and beyond, it's still a valid book. Michael talks about many kind of concepts in here that are, of course, they're relative. Angelic teachings don't really go out of time. It's sort of a timeless nature about what Michael teaches us in many ways. That's this skinny little book. And then the third text is most recent, the Book of Animals, Healing and Wisdom. So as I tell many people too, I am here like many light workers to help anchor the Christ consciousness grid to Earth. And part of that, of course, includes animals and elevating people's awareness of animals just in general. And also, in this particular text, Michael also shares with us harmonic healing codes. I don't know if any of you know what harmonic healing codes are. They don't have to be numbers. But if you want to feel like you're doing something for humanity too, and the animal planet, it's a very valuable tool for that. How can I help the reefs? How can I help heal? And so I guess we're all alchemists when you work with energy and the light. So that's the latest teaching. And today, mostly, we're going to be talking about, and I think one more business thing before we get going, if I can. I believe we sent around flyers to Mount Shasta. I'll be taking people there. You didn't get one. My booth's 310, so you're welcome to stop by and pick up some of this information or after the lecture before the next person. So we'll be going back there again. Michael asked me to go there about 3 years ago. So I'll be going back there. I'll be training more healers, and it's a weekend retreat. It's not a big, long thing. We're going to be working with alchemy. We all can do that. I'll be, assisting and downloading that kind of information. So I briefly mentioned, I believe I hear guidance. Channeling rods were put into my ear by Archangel Michael about 15 years ago. We saw them go in, we heard them go in, and anyway. They were really thick at first, and then they got thinner over time, like fishing wire, and now they're just fully integrated. So that's largely my, the way things have unfolded for me. So we're here today to talk a little bit and experience, I guess, some star healing intergalactic energy, right?
Yes.
Okay. And learn a bit more about it. Yeah. Okay. So, nothing really reads like an angel. So, I can share that with you. I know some of these things. I'm not at what you call a trance channel. My eyes are open when information comes to me, or if you had a session with me, my eyes would be open and things like that. The tools that I have on my table here, these shells here are walkie-talkies to God Source. We use them in every star healing session. That's how we kind of refer to them, as walkie-talkies. These are powerful healing tools. That's what Michael told me 7 years ago. And for those of you that might work or know Tibetan tinctures, I can't proclaim to tell you that they will work in the same manner if you just use them and go, oh, I'm going to go buy them. She said they're powerful healing tools. Everybody flocks to them. But they are in relationship to the Pleiadian system. Not only are the Pleiadians present, but when I do and have done healing, or when we train practitioners, I call in everybody. We call in all the Ascended Masters. There are about 15 light races present now in every healing session, not just Pleiadians. And what makes this a magnified healing system is that we use a variety of tools in a variety of ways to help us. To help us what? Lift ourselves, transform ourselves from what we might call a third-dimensional body. Is everybody kind of good with that term, third or dimensional or denser body, light bodies? To the fifth dimension or higher. The fifth dimension is the lowest dimension where the archangels reside. It's a dimension of pure love. So I asked Michael, this system, Star Healing Intergalactic Energy, he shared with me 7 years ago in about 2 months. Some things you don't forget, right? Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know, about a year ago, like everybody's talking about Ascension, Michael, like 7 years ago in the Midwest. Can you imagine? I wasn't really a happy girl, a woman, young woman, You're kidding me, I'm thinking to myself. He says, the time is right for all to hear. Let me describe an overview. I've just declared this star healing intergalactic energy because the source you will be drawing from is a star galaxy. It makes no difference if you're familiar with this galaxy or not. My love goes to all. This energy goes to all, through all, extends to all. However, if you're drawn to learn more, depending on where you're living, look up to the heavens and locate the northern star. The energy from this galaxy is wise and powerful. Yes, energy has an intelligence just like you or I. So he says, and this is still kind of a mission of mine, this form of healing is high enough to reach anyone of any age, but particularly those under the age of 35 who have entered in with new DNA strands because they still need integration. Okay, did I lose anybody in that sense there? No. Okay. So in addition, so Michael says, bring everyone of any age. So the youngest child last week was 3. He had a 30-minute remote session with me, and he was suffering from diabetes, and his mother was quite, distraught. And she shared a couple days ago, they had his levels checked, I guess, however you check the levels, and there's not very much there anymore. So, sometimes people do get, here's what I would restate. Light beings do the healing work at the speed of light. That's how quickly they do healing work. What I tell everyone is, of course, I don't know how quickly or completely you'll integrate what they did like that. It depends. I try to share what Michael shared with me. Michael is Archangel Michael, okay. So what Michael said to me, there's certain conditions that might necessitate more than one session. There are times where he says, well, if you have addictions or sexual abuse, you're going to need more than one session or treatment. That's why there's different levels. That's why he taught me how to do it every level. I heard it, we do it. I'm blessed to say soon, in a couple of months, 30 to 50 Japanese healers were going to be certified, thanks to all things that are known and well. So anyway, I don't profess to tell people in advance how quickly or completely something's going to be made more well for you. It's inappropriate. I can just tell you what I know. Sometimes people get instantaneous permanent healing that quickly. Other times, some individuals and animals, they need more than one attunement. So what is an attunement? Is it okay if I move into that just briefly here? Okay, thank you. So it is a system that has about 20 to 30 different energy techniques in it. We don't touch anybody in this form of healing. We don't need to. We don't. We use some healing stones and objects Michael asked to be used. Some techniques I do for certain people, and some I don't for others. It depends, you know. Not everybody needs the same thing. Sacred symbols are given to people, and I'll just say, just no animals too, okay? So animals. By the way, do most of you know that just as there are star seeds with people, that there's star-seeded animals and plants? Do y'all know that too? Yes, for the most part, okay. So this, the idea about ascending, what are we ascending back to? Oneness, right? That's what that means in simplest form. And some of what the star system does that makes it so powerful and magnificent is that we remove any implants that were placed in the human or animal body, and they most likely were placed there unless you were born after 2012 or if you've had some other type of system done that I'm not aware of where they were removed. Okay, in addition to that, one of the things star healing does is change or shape-shift your DNA. Maybe you're hearing more and more people talk about DNA, you know, and all this. Well, 7 years ago, Michael showed me how to transform your third-dimensional DNA into a fifth-dimensional one, and we did it, you know. We also remove past lives from any soul pieces. They're called soul pieces from any past lives a person or animal has had that might be affecting you. They're removed from the light body. Why would you have any of those pieces left still in there if you're going to be, or we can help you become a more crystalline light body? That's another word we use sometimes. Turning people into a more crystalline light body. How do we do it again? There's tone, there's particular tone, there's healing objects that can be used. Yes, the tinctures through Pleiadian energy is powerful. But the light beings also do it through some ways that are so vast to explain, I don't even really know all the time. I know at certain times that I am laying in the light workers' light language. Have y'all kind of heard that a little bit anyway? Okay, so sometimes because in a session, Michael said, let them talk. The silent form of healing is leaving their planet. So I teach everybody, or I share with you why something's happening and why we're doing it so you're not like left in the dark on, well, you know, whatever. Because not everybody's going to see, feel, or know, right? So Michael said, after he said all healing is good, not to disenfranchise anybody, then he said, silent form of healing is leaving the planet. And why can that, what's the concept behind that? Because if you happen to see something, know something during a session, or even if, and you just talk, or you release your fears, you know, we become more equal teachers in that there's no master. You won't find a star healing master in any level of star healing intergalactic energy. It's not that way. So that's one part of being equal. So a wide variety of things, you know, occur. Sometimes people definitely do have physical wounds if you know much about energy healing, but the emotional body has to be made more well. So we do address the emotional body, the spiritual body, techniques, and I'll go over a couple of these tips for everybody to help you. Tomorrow, I'll just make mention of it now, but tomorrow's lecture is going to be about ascended spaces, which is the other component that Michael gave me so many years ago now, seems like. So that when you put two ascended systems together, it can make for quite a bit of well and wise prosperity in your life. Not just physical prosperity, monetary prosperity, joy, harmony, whatever those, you know, layers of prosperity are. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Doesn't mean that a person has to embrace this when they have a session or what have you.